The Sydney triplets would be named the East Harbour Town, Centre Inland Town and West Park Town. But how do you break a town of millions of human beings in three? A story of three cities by creation. Three cities out of a. Officials are hoping to convince residents to dwell in a more than various band of locations. The cornerstone of the policy is creation 30 min cities, such wherever all residents will dwell during a part an hour replace of the near metropolitan center. Various modes of transportation will be entered to do the occur, consisting new motorways and boat train channel. Moreover, every of Sydney's three cities would be associated in every some via new transportation links, laid Sydney in three distinctive but associated cities. He's not departure to be a fast install, yet. I believe the railway and motorways are departure to get a length period to get off the land, since the railway requirement subsidies for a begin, says Glenn Searle, and Connect Prof in Planner at the College of Sydney and the College of Queensland, who before treated in planner politics for the New Southward Wales by the government. But how job as necessary to be made largest human beings can accept. Sydney is a town how has never very nested deep in a binder schedule for creature congruent, at low before currently, says Amadou Doumbia, a New Yorker who excited to Sydney 8 months back. Thou see at the town centre and he's rising in steaming enterprise buildings or unbelievable colonialist era buildings. But the min you keep these areas, thou re-florid in a town how feels part capital and part commuter. The government has not yet told how lot will be nested in creation new transportation or wherever it will go of. Sydney as we aware it now, down there is a top priority for residing in the East Harbour Town, that is household to portrait landmarks such as the Sydney Opera Building, says Searle. More thickness gives you more resonance about the centre region, he says. As well, the environment in East Sydney is lot superior rather than the environment in West Sydney. East Sydney has a sea breeze in the summer warmth. But in how popular comes top habitation prices in East Sydney, he adds. He's partially since of accessing to jobs and culture means. By the new schedule, the East Harbour Town will construct on its acknowledged economical force, but as well supporting the some two cities to provide increase isn't concentration in the area. A new CBD? If you can very construct up Parramatta, a lot of human beings in West Sydney would perhaps replace to Parramatta quite rather than to our present centre industry area, says Peter Phibbs, a prof of city and provincial planner and politics at the College of Sydney. By the suggestion, an economical hallway will be shaped how rest via Parramatta focus on planet-class public health, formation and study institutions as so as financial, industry services and authority. New railing links will increase prospects of the region. An aerotropolis, but maybe the largest essential, and exciting, portion of the schedule is to convert West Sydney in an aerotropolis, a metropolitan submarine region wherever the model, infrastructure facilities and economics are centered on an aeroport. West Sydney is historically related in the destitute and top rates of criminality. But in West Sydney Aeroport due to outdoor down there in 2026, an alleged 28,000 jobs are set to be created in the region. The three cities in full will build 817,000 jobs, the paper says. West Sydney has a adverse picture, it lacks jobs, it lacks culture means, it has a lot of social habitation, says Searle. This committee, is hard to do thing on how. By the schedule, the region's people will increase of 740,000 in 2016 to 1.5 million by 2056. Earth produce will enable for more than habitation to be constructed in the region, that will be associated by a vertically boat train connection. 3's a mob? Split Sydney in three would address overpopulation, and uneven economical and public opportunities about the east party of the town. But is such a end schedule very sustainable? I believe he's a nice concept since a absence of habitation availability has constrained human beings out of the town, though human beings on proper salary, says Renee Griffin, who has lived in Sydney for 6 years. So you each lease, or you include a length replace, both of that aren't large if thou ve got a household. Griffin adds how things are lightweight for her since she lives in the east portion of city. If you wish to take part in Sydney lifetime in general, you include to be about the region, that tool a lot of journey for nobody in the western. Searle is not purchase the 30-min town concept, although down there will be a lot of commuting upcoming of west to east Sydney, he says. This, targets for this, people and job increase about Aeroport Town and the nearby economical hallway are very way to top. How's not the just item Searle feels skeptical on. Down there is an growth in focus of jobs in the center portion of Sydney, that are expertise-based jobs, and the tendency about the planet is for expertise-based jobs to be more than center, he explains. This concept how you can inverse the job centralization trial by offering addition to new cities, later, proverb, it will occur, is partly whimsical, I believe, says Searle. And lot Sydney-siders greet the schedule. I believe which the by the government is making is extremely remarkable, says Dumbia. Yet they as well include the problem of change the regional psychological of which Sydney tool, which residing in a town tool, and how length commutes really be a everyday way of lifetime up these plans can be engulfed.